LifePoint has meant so much to my son and I. We have built awesome relationships here.
LifePoint is an extended family to us.
They've helped me in my marriage, they've helped me with the birth of my son.
LifePoint to me has been such a spiritual blessing to myself and my kids by laying down a good biblical foundation.
There's a lot of things that I didn't really understand about our walk with Christ and in life that I learned a lot at LifePoint.
Pretty much I thought I had the answers to everything. And I came to LifePoint and realized that there were questions I'd never even heard of.
There's always been someone there to answer my questions and to help out in any way possible.
You don't come in and feel like you're secluded, like nobody's there for you, or nobody cares. It's nice to have people who care about you.
It's been a blessing to everyone in my family. My kids, same way.
It's just been a really great place for our family to grow spiritually.
I really don't know what I would do without the support of the church.
You know, from the very first Sunday that I walked through the doors at LifePoint, I knew that this was a special place. And it's been amazing to see God work in the lives of our congregation this past 10 years. And almost every week I hear new stories of spiritual growth and life transformation as people continue to give their lives to Christ. This next step we're taking is a big one. Certainly the biggest step we've ever taken as a congregation. The path ahead is our campaign to raise funds necessary to find and purchase an existing building that we can renovate and call our own. The biggest impact will be felt right here in this congregation. Our dream together is to create a sanctuary for Sunday worship that will be comfortable and allow plenty of space for new families. And for the first time in 7 years, we'll be able to control the sound and volume, the lighting, and the temperature in the room. Plus, the sanctuary setup will be relatively permanent, meaning that all that effort that's spent each week now setting up and tearing down can be redirected towards other ministries here at LifePoint.
I'm imagining a place that when your kids walk in, they react with wow. They see a place that's designed just for them. They see colors and car parts. They have space. They hear their music coming through the speakers, and they know this is their place to discover who God is creating them to be.
Our student ministry has been growing, and we could really use a place for them to spend time, not only with each other, but with adults who really care about them. A place where they can feel free to talk about their problems that they face at home, at school, and with their friends. As a church, it's very important to show them that they're a valuable part of our congregation. One of the many ways to do this is to provide them with a place where they can feel free to invite their friends, and we can guide them on their path to becoming strong men and women of faith.
I think this campaign will help define us in the future. Our church is at a crossroads. This is a time that we can step up and show that we're serious about what God has called us to do in the community.
The reason we need a permanent building for our church is because we simply have not enough space to accommodate the amount of kids.
I think the path ahead will help us as a church to be able to be more effective in the way that we reach out and minister in the community, but also within our congregation. Simply having a physical presence that is permanent, not having to set up and tear down each week, will allow us to spend that time reaching out to newcomers or just building fellowship with people that we already know.
It pulls us all together on a common path. And great things can happen when we trust God and allow Him to work in our lives.
I want to be part of the path ahead because I want to be part of something bigger than what I can accomplish by myself. My gifts and resources are limited, but when we pool our resources together, we can accomplish something greater.
It's where God's shown that our church needs to be going, and it would be such a blessing to reach that end product and have a place that's ours, and to have a place that we've all worked toward and sacrificed for to get to.
It's going to take sacrifice from everybody, and it doesn't mean that everybody gives the same amount of money, but it means that we all sacrifice.
It's that effort of a family together that's going to achieve the goal. It's not going to be something that any one or two people can do by themselves.
Well, I think as we embark on this path ahead together, what He wants really to teach us is a little bit of humility, but also a lot of trust. It's very hard sometimes in life to trust God with everything. But when we do this as a family together, and as we move forward on this path, we start to see really what He's doing in our lives in a very tangible way.
Pastor Phil has asked us all to think about what we would be willing to sacrifice for this campaign and for the church. And Dom and I are definitely praying about that and considering that.
It's one thing to contribute what's comfortable, but this is testing us to step outside of our comfort zone, and to do that, it's a huge step of faith.
I was so encouraged with the fact that the church started with prayer and really asking God what He expected out of us. Because we're all at different seasons in our lives, we're all at different stages and have different responsibilities.
We're planning to contribute to the path ahead by sacrificing in our budget and also believing that God's going to provide more than we see right now. And that's going to require some faith on our part. But we know that God is faithful, so we don't have to have anxiety about that.
I am praying for God's will in this project, for everybody to get involved, whether it be monetarily, with your time, your talents, for everyone to get together as a church and make it happen.
It's really going to come down to being sensitive to what God wants us to do, and just looking for the opportunities for money that we might be willing to spend normally on something else. What could we give up to see LifePoint rooted in the Lake Mary area?
My mom passed away 2 years ago, and I inherited my deceased father's coin collection. I just knew in my heart that I could hear God saying, you know, trust me, honor your parents this way. So we took it down to an appraiser, and you know, we were very happy with what they offered us. We accepted, and we're going to give 100% of it to the church.
One of the most important parts of this campaign is going to be enduring the race, is going to be running together for the whole length of time.
Specifically, we would encourage people to just pray that this would be a time of growth for the church.
I really hope that we have a God-given space that is appropriate for all ministries within our church, and that we can reach out into the community and extend those services beyond our doors.
I would encourage you to pray about what it is in your life that God wants you to sacrifice. It's not a number on a page, it's not a dollar amount necessarily, but ask yourself, what is it that God wants me to lay down at His feet for His use?
I truly believe that if we focus on the glory of God in this community, that God's going to honor that and honor His name and do amazing things through LifePoint Christian Church.
LifePoint, I want to thank you in advance for your faithfulness. Thank you for being in prayer about the campaign, and thank you for generously responding to God's call to move LifePoint forward. I'm excited about our future together at LifePoint, and I'm excited to take this journey with you. May God bless you, and may He alone receive the glory and honor in all we do on the path ahead.